Hello and welcome to Nope There's Only Trash Here podcast episode 75. The day today is the 15th of March 2015. So we're back after a week break. I'm pretty sure I've already mentioned this before, but because there's not much we're really interested in, or not much news really happens sometimes, we just take a break. It's like, you know what, let's just take this one off. And that just means that this week, this is going to be full of content and news.
Stop
it's just
lying.
Going to be full to the brim.
Stop it.
Sometimes, no, I don't like to lie, but what else have we got to do?
How do you feel? How do you live with yourself?
Well, pretty good, you know.
Oh, okay.
Check those YouTube numbers, and I'm like, yeah.
That YouTube money.
Yeah, when that comes rolling in, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, so we've got nothing again, right?
Yeah,
well, I've got nothing.
There's some things.
I'm hoping you've got some sleeves, some cards up your sleeve there.
I do
I
have
say
some
sleeves up your cards then, but
I've got some card sleeves. Don't worry, I've got them locked and loaded. But not that much, but some stuff.
yeah.
I guess it's just I don't think this is an exciting gen. Maybe, or maybe I'm just making that up. But
Yeah,
I
what's
remember
happened?
being more excited before.
We are older and more cynical,
Maybe,
but wiser, and not as naive,
and good looking.
and so devilishly handsome.
It's a sin. It is a real sin.
Yeah, it's a tough life.
Yeah, it is.
But
I
no,
suppose.
it's just it's all very half cup empty, I'd say.
Okay, I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's this generation. I think it's just got to be more that before I would get
2014.
a magazine. Oh, that too, maybe. You would get a magazine, you read it, but that was for the month, right? So you got all your news in a month, once a month. And now we're trying to do this podcast thing. I say trying. We've been doing it long enough where I should probably not be saying, "Oh, we're trying to give it a go." But then it's when you try and look at news every single week, and then you got media sites and everyone wanting to be talking about stuff, and media sites basically coming up with news. You just kind of realize yeah, maybe there's not actually that much stuff. Maybe not that much stuff actually happens.
Okay, I was onto the wrong point. The reason I said 2014 was because I thought you meant 2014 was such a not a bad year, but there was lots of disappointments in 2014 for gaming, and so that's why some people are a lot more sort of bitter about games. But then on the other side, yes, I agree with you. I think there's all this video game journalism and all these stories and stuff. There's a lot of it really isn't news, and so you just get all this fluff. It's just fluff, Tom.
Oh, not the bloody fluff.
It's just fluff, and nothing is. Do you still read video game magazines?
I try not to read, in my whole life.
Oh, okay, right. Words
I
are for
absolutely
chumps.
refuse to.
But I used to still collect magazines. Maybe up until a couple of years ago, I was a subscription thing.
Oh,
No, probably longer than
late.
2 years actually. Probably maybe 3 actually.
10 years. We'll say 10 years.
About 10 years ago, and I found that I didn't really care as much towards the end. I just liked them for the pictures. No, not the pictures, but the. All right, when I read a newspaper, I for some reason I like reading letters. Okay.
Okay.
I don't really care as much about the articles. I like reading people's letters. What does that say about me?
You just, I don't know, you're a man of the people.
Oh, yeah, true. I'm a man of the people, and I don't really care about all these video game reviews anymore.
No. Well, so what? Just reviews and news and everything? You're just nope, I'm done.
There's too much of it, Tom.
I check reviews all the time, though, if I'm being honest. With
Do you?
news stuff, it's all, like you said, it's all fluff. But without reviews, I don't know, it's people have kind of looked down on reviews from more recently, saying how, oh, whatever, it's a number, people take them too seriously. But if you go in with the right attitude, it can be really interesting to see how people take a game and actually look at it. And then, as long as you go in with the right expectations, where you don't say, oh, a 6 out of 10, this is unplayable. No way I'm buying this game. But if you actually read the actual reviews and you go to the right sites, you can find out a lot of interesting stuff.
Have you seen that a lot of the sites are getting rid of the number scores?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Why? Because you don't like reading. You like numbers.
I do. I like the number, like, ooh, 7.
7.
No, I don't know, like, because I think with a review, you have the number, but you justify the number with the review. So if you're getting, you don't have to do a review, if you want to just take a look at the game and here's my thoughts on it, that a lot of people do, then that's fine. But I think it's not a proper review unless you can summarize your thoughts with that score. It's not... people who write reviews shouldn't be annoyed about how certain people look at the reviews in terms of score. That's their problem. The solution isn't get rid of the score. The solution is make sure you're writing good reviews so people are compelled to actually read them. So I think it just doesn't really solve anything, and it just kind of... Yeah, sure, people might actually start reading reviews more, but you should... Again, if a review's well written, then the score should complement the review. It shouldn't be... that's not the solution. Write your review better. Whatever, I don't know.
You hear that, journalists? Write better.
Yeah. Well, okay, I wouldn't say I'm an amazing writer when it comes to my reviews, but when I write them, it all comes down to, the score. When I play a game, a score always jumps out at me, and then the challenge is to kind of break down everything that I experience to the point where it's okay, this is what makes it good, this is what makes it bad, and then kind of makes that fit in. But it always jumps out to me. In the first hour, I'll be like, this is a 2, whatever, or this is an 8, and then based on assessing it in a more objective manner, then I break down what the score actually will be in the end. So I think everyone's got to kind of go through that process.
That's very interesting. So the score comes before the reasons for the score.
Yeah.
I would have thought it was the other way around.
No, it's just kind of like a natural sort of feeling. I think everyone does it. People might not think of a number in their head, but when you're playing a game, you get a general impression of it. And then as you kind of play it more, then you kind of think about more of the things you like and dislike. But you get an impression of a game, and... for me, if I'm reviewing it, then I can just have to, put that in a number. But people do that naturally anyway, just most people don't take that step to being this is the number relating to it.
Right, but wouldn't that be a first impression a lot of the times?
Sure, but it's still... In terms of, it can change. I'm not saying that it's a case of, here's my impression, this is it, boom. It can change, but you still get it. You still get a feeling of the game as you're playing it. Whether you're enjoying it or not.
Mm. Much like a film as well.
Yeah, same with a film. You kind of get a general... I don't know. With a film, I find it easier to kind of switch off and just enjoy it. Because in a game, you have to concentrate or think about stuff when you're playing it. But a film, you don't. You just have to, experience it.
It's passive.
So,
it's very passive.
Yeah, it's more passive. So you just kind of sit there and experience it. So I don't think... Well, there'll be moments where I think this is really cool. I really like this film. But I don't kind of think that as much as I would with a game.
Have you ever walked out of a film?
No.
No?
Because I paid to see it.
That's what I don't understand. I don't understand how people could walk out of a film. Money. Although,
I'm trying to think.
Life.
Yeah, you're wasting your time if you're spending another hour.
Yeah. I haven't either. I don't think I have anyway. No, I did.
Oh no.
I did. But that was when
Skyfall.
That was when I was 6, and it was to go see Mr. Bean. Right.
Which one? The original or the holiday one?
I wouldn't have been 6 when the holiday one came out.
Well, I don't know.
It would have been the original one. And I don't know why, but it really creeped me out. And I was very scared.
Well, that's a bit different to what you were asking, though. Walking out means, I hate this so much, I'm leaving. True. Being 6, being that man's freaky.
It was freaky. Yeah, okay, true.
But I don't know. I'm trying to think what film I would have done if I was in that frame. Because also with a cinema, you're sitting down in a pitch black room. So I don't really kind of think of the idea of actually just leaving. It just doesn't enter my head.
There's one that I should have walked out of. G-Force. Do you remember that film?
What, the gerbil kids film?
Right, we went to go see that because, and this is honest now. Don't do that. Oh, sure thing, because this is God's honest truth. I was with a friend, and their brother had to come with us, and he was very young, so we had to go to a child-friendly film.
Okay.
Yes, and
Mr. Bean was on. You're like, no.
No, I covered my eyes.
Not.
But the film had a mole, and the mole was the mole. Isn't that genius?
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, I should have walked out of that. That's an hour and a half I never got back.
You can't walk out of a kid's film.
I was going to leave the kid there. Screw you.
What a horrible statement.
Sucked. So much.
I'm trying to think, like, because there's a film, have you ever heard of Funny People?
Yes.
I didn't see that in the cinema, but I heard it was terrible, but I was still like, you know what, I'm interested. Jason Segel's a funny guy. So I tried to watch it at home. I just pirated it. I was like, it's meant to be bad. I don't want to pay and have it suck. And an hour in, I'm like, this is terrible. So if I had been to the cinema, I probably would have walked out. Or probably not, but I would have really wanted to. But because I was just watching it on my laptop, I was like, you know what, I'm closing this. And I'm never going to watch it again. Because it also had like the little timeline. And it was like, you're an hour in. This film is 2 hours and 20 minutes long. I'm like, oh God. Not even halfway in.
Yeah. Yeah, at least you had the luxury there. So was it on your laptop? Could you just literally close it? It's like, go away now.
Yeah.
I'll put you to sleep.
It's over. It's over.
Sleep now.
For that film, oh God. So it was about like Adam Sandler as a comedian. Like playing a character and then he gets leukemia. And then he just becomes super depressed. And then the whole film is like, hey, stop being so depressed. Just because you have like blood cancer, it's fine.
What a great message to send.
It's horrible. It's like really, it's so boring and it's not funny. And that's the worst thing about a comedy. If a comedy doesn't make you laugh, then it's draining to watch. To hear joke after joke. And
emotionally draining. I agree.
You just can't do it. You're just like, you're trying so hard. None of them are landing.
But then, I wish I was more easy to, make laugh in the cinema. I laugh fine with other people chatting or whatever, playing games. But in the cinema, I'm so stone faced, and I wish it wasn't the case because I don't know. I'd like to enjoy a good comedy film, but none of them make me laugh.
Okay, well, what film did you see that where you were just like, this isn't funny?
Well, I can't think of a film. I can't even think of the last comedy film I saw. Probably why I stopped going to see them. But let's take, for example, Comic Relief. That was on TV this Friday, a few days ago.
Yes.
So Comic Relief, for anyone who doesn't know, is just a charity sort of, what's the word called? It's a fundraising thing.
Yeah, fundraising thing.
Where it's all about saving children in Africa and Britain, and also, not just children, people. Saving people. And also they mix in comedy with famous comedians from Britain, blah, blah, blah. It's not funny.
Oh, no.
It didn't make me laugh. Not even the James Bond bit really made me laugh.
I didn't see it, I'm afraid.
Well, okay. It wasn't great. And I'm pretty sure it made me laugh as a kid because I was a kid. Maybe it wasn't funny back then, but I was just I don't know, but I can't laugh at these things anymore.
The sketch that comes to mind, and pretty much the only one, is the Ricky Gervais one, where it's the whole sketch about him doing a fake advert. It's just like, you're not really in Africa though.
Yes, that's true.
That's like a great one. That's one that I watched like several times when they put it up on YouTube after the fact, because that was so good. That was so funny.
It might be something to do with being a kid, because I remember really laughing at, and this must have been maybe the 2005 one. Yeah, but probably that long ago. The Dawn French and Jennifer Saunders when they did Harry Potter. Do you remember that?
No.
And so Dawn French was this really fat Harry Potter, and I only remember really stupid things like Joe the Great Hall. So he sits down on one end and pushes like 2 kids off the other because he's so fat. It's so dumb, but I remember laughing at that. But that may have just been because, yeah, I think
small. You maybe did. You watch it by yourself?
No, I watched it with family.
Oh, that's nice.
Nothing.
Well, I don't know. I think probably going into it the wrong way. I think it's probably more meant to be just like a light-hearted, here's some kind of jokes. I don't think you should really watch something like Comic Relief and sit down and be like, right, amuse me.
But
Bring forth the comedy.
No, see, I disagree with that. I understand it's about charity. Fair enough. They've raised over £1 billion. Great. But you have to do something. You have to make me laugh.
Well, you can do your own charity work by pretending to laugh.
That'd
be nice.
I understand because people have said that or along those similar lines to me before because I've moaned about Comic Relief. Yes, I've moaned about Comic Relief.
Very active in that.
And I came across as probably quite terrible. This was back at school. I wrote an article about Comic Relief and how it wasn't very good in the newsletter.
Oh, God. Monster.
But the point was that I was trying to say, and I'm probably going to sound terrible again now, is it's emotionally blackmailing in the wrong way. They have to blackmail you, okay? Because people like money. Yeah, you like money.
Maybe I partake.
So I understand they have to tug at your heartstrings with all these. They intersperse all these videos of them in Africa and things. But I think it's terrible the way they do it. I'll give you an example. On Friday, the most recent Comic Relief, there's this video of this little British girl going over to Africa and talking to this little African girl. And this little African girl, Violet was her name. She is 9 years old and she does, she cooks and cleans and does everything. And she only has her grandmother to... not even look after her. She is to care after her grandma. And you can just... Alright, so they do that really close-up camera thing, like the Ricky Gervais thing. And they really get in the face when they're doing they're trying to talk to each other. And so the little British girl asks something like, so you've only got your grandma left. What are you going to do if something happened to her? And you just... I sit there and I think, what do you think is going to be the response to that? And then, when she says something really sad like, oh, I don't know, blah, 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 and they both start crying, the only thing I can picture when they start crying, because they did, is the director behind the camera going, yes, cry for the camera. Perfect. Because they did. I bet you they did.
I think you're a little cynical.
They love that stuff. No, they love it. They will lap it up.
Being a bit cynical there.
No, they lap it up.
No.
It's basically, we're going to go over there. We're gonna patronise and ask annoyingly stupid, dumb questions to these African people, and send it back over in a video, and then we're done.
But it's like for all our lives and everyone's lives, everyone gets told how horrible this stuff is and how horrible things are over there, to the point where we are now desensitized to just. You can just see an advert and it's like, this person has no legs and is dying. And you would see that on a train and you just kind of look at it and then look away and stuff like that. So like they have to, because when you're exposed to like all those adverts and everything all your life, you're not going to really react to anything unless they go kind of above and beyond and go to Africa and be like, here's the footage. So if they want to make people care, then they have to do it. Because otherwise it's just going to be like, yeah, heard it all before.
But we have heard it all before. Even those things, we've seen it all before.
But you still got to hit the high moments if you want people to really get invested and care.
Well, obviously it does work because they get loads of money, but I just think it's wrong.
Well, it would be nice. In a perfect world, it would be nice to just say, hey, everyone, there's a lot of problems in the world. So if you just give a few pounds, then we can just kind of, even things out and hopefully help some people. That would be super nice, but that is not the world we live in at all. Like, advertisers, whatever, or people who work for the charities only do this sort of stuff because that's what works. Because you can't just say how horrible this is. You gotta do something like that. So if people were more giving, I guess, then we wouldn't see it as much.
Well, yeah, of course, that would be great. That'd be ideal. This is a personal preference. I don't like things that make me feel like crap. Okay, that's just a personal preference, and
the mirror.
Oh yeah. Well,
sorry. I apologise.
And again, this is completely personal, but I would be more willing to donate money, and I realise this is probably going against the grain. I'd be more willing to donate money if they showed videos of these people in Africa, perhaps not dying or not, suffering or something. Maybe showing how they're living not normally, but in just a more optimistic light. You know what I mean?
But then why would you donate if they're getting on fine?
Well, they're still... But that's the point. It's like, why do you need to see them suffering to donate? They're obviously not as well off as we are.
But then that's not the people who made the show's problem. That's people's problem.
What? Wait, what? Huh?
Well, that's not the... Yeah, like, you need to see the suffering so people donate. If you didn't see the suffering, you wouldn't get a donation.
Yeah. I'm saying... that's what I'm saying... If they showed them being more optimistic, or at least that's how they should show them, and perhaps... What am I trying to say here? For me, I don't like the depressing stuff. I do what you say.
Sure.
I turn over the channel most of the time when it's those adverts and the sad music plays, because I do. If they showed videos of them more optimistic, I would watch it because it wouldn't make me feel like crap, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, they need £3 a month or whatever.
I don't know. I don't, because I don't give to charity.
Right.
I'm just admitting that. I just don't do
fine.
it. But that's the thing. I don't give the charity just out of the good of my heart, so I can't then be annoyed at these charities using these sort of techniques to try and get people to donate, because I don't donate by myself naturally. So it's kind of like you can't have one or the other.
I think you're right. I think we've definitely been conditioned and desensitized into seeing those sort of things, which I don't think is a good thing. There you go. End it there. I don't think that's a good way of doing it.
Sure.
Rant
Which
over.
is fair enough. You don't have to say... I'm not saying that the way they do it is perfect. I'm just saying it does make sense in today's age where there's no, like, global community.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's sad.
Well, this is what happens when there's no video game news. If they just announced something, god damn it, we didn't have to go down this road.
No, that's true.
But anyway, video games. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. So the first couple of things, there's a couple of sequels that's been announced. The first one is Titanfall 2, which we already knew was going to happen, and it's going to be multi-platform, which again, I think we all knew that was going to happen, so not much there. But if we go to films, you know where I'm going with this? You know what I'm heading to? You excited?
Oh, yeah, I know.
So, Frozen 2 has been
Frozen
confirmed.
2.
I see a lot of hate for this, which I understand where it's coming from, but it's really, really unnecessary. There shouldn't be any hate for just saying we're doing a second film. And I think the main reason for that is because sequels, when it comes to animated films, are usually pretty damn good. Toy Story 2, apparently How to Train Your Dragon 2 was good. A lot of the sequels are pretty good. Cars 2, obviously, no way. But really, when an animated studio or an animation studio does a sequel, they usually have something good. Like, they do it for a reason. Like, everyone can be really, about the Toy Story 4 thing, everyone can complain. But then again, Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3 were really good. So, I mean, again, I understand where this hate is coming from. But it's just, I don't like seeing that. Can't you just be like, you know what, they've just announced that they're doing a sequel, maybe I'll wait before saying, oh my god, I can't even.
Oh, I haven't really seen... Well, actually, I have seen quite a bit of hate for it. All the people that are hating on it are the people that hated the film anyways, so who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I do not give an iota of care to... I still haven't seen the film. I have no inclination to watch the film. I've heard the songs enough, of course. But it made a crap ton of money. Of course they're going to make a sequel. Anyone who thought that was a surprise are foolish. Very foolish.
Yeah. It's just, we've seen this time and time and again, though, where people just get really upset. It's like, oh, how come other films aren't getting sequels or whatever? And it's like, well, that's not how the world
Incredibles 2! Give us Incredibles 2! No, I don't want Incredibles 2.
Yeah, it's kind of like, whatever. It's just annoying seeing the reactions on the internet, because it all has to be 10 reactions. And I don't know why people haven't really learned before, because I've seen this so many times. The internet and Twitter and social media has been around long enough where everyone has seen this sort of reaction, and so many times on so many different things. People get all worked up and annoyed about something simply existing because they don't like it, or it's personally not what they want. And they can't just say, don't really have the interest, and move on. It has to be, Disney's, what are you doing, Disney, whatever. Like, they can't just kind of move on from it. And I'm not saying people can't have an opinion on stuff. I've moaned about a lot of stuff. But this isn't having an opinion. It doesn't... It's just an announcement of they're going to make a sequel. So you can't have an opinion on it. You might be like, hey, I like the first Frozen. It'd be cool to see like a sequel and see where they go with the world, because I like the world they painted and the characters. Fair enough. But you can't have an opinion on just, we're making a sequel. Or not in a passionate one. No, you can't have passionate hatred for something that is just been announced. It's just so stupid at this point.
No, I agree. Like, I can't really say much because it's Frozen and it's not my cup of tea, we'll say. But on something that is more my cup of tea, not including... Oh, actually, I've got a cup of tea. Damn it. I was going to make a nice witty pun about actually having a cup of tea. Blade Runner. They announced a sequel to Blade Runner with Harrison Ford again.
Sure.
And that is kind of along the same lines of what you're saying there. So I don't have a passionate opinion. I am dubious that it needed a sequel, especially after so long. And the way the original film ended on an ambiguous note. I don't think a sequel is going to be good. But, like you say, that's all we've really heard.
Yeah. Well, I can be like, I've definitely, with some of the stuff I say and opinions I have, I'm definitely a hypocrite, because I'm sure I've had like a too harsh reaction to something just being announced. Like, I'm sure that's happened, but this is not a surprise announcement just because you didn't like the film and you heard the songs on the radio. I don't know. I find it all very exhausting.
You're not a hypocrite
at this point.
People can change.
Yay!
I change my mind all the time about things. You probably
well,
could
you
tell
do
by
take
listening
some
to
harsh
this
stands.
I do. Yeah, I was just moaning about Comic Relief. I bet in 2017 I'd love the damn thing for some odd reason. So
Comic Relief is the best.
I'm a fickle person when it comes to some things, and I don't care changing minds. So no, you're not a hypocrite, Tom.
Yay.
You're doing just fine. Pat yourself on the back. That's good.
Hey, I feel good. I feel good about this.
That's good.
But no, it's all very tiring. I'm not just saying that because I'm actually tired. I just find it all very tiring, their reactions, and because it's like the recent one in gaming has been the Five Nights at Freddy's thing.
Oh, you're gonna let's play Five Nights at Freddy's, Tom?
Maybe.
You're gonna let's play. You should let's play.
I'll never tell.
Okay.
Okay.
Go on.
Yeah, because this is like, okay, so this is the one in gaming at the moment where it used to be Call of Duty, but I think people have finally kind of started to move on. Obviously, it still has a big community, but I think people have moved on. So the most recent one is Five Nights at Freddy's, where people can't just have like a normal reaction, or maybe it's just the way people type on the internet or whatever, because people have either got to really hate it or really dislike it. And then it's weird how many people do that. You would think it would be like maybe 5% of people, or maybe it is a small percentage of people. It's just the vocal minority.
They are
I'm
very
not sure.
passionate.
Yeah,
By the sounds of it.
I don't know where this all comes from. So you get like people really enjoying something. And, you know, the same thing happened with Frozen, it happened with Five Nights, and it will happen with a ton of stuff in the future as well. And it's happened with a ton of stuff in the past. Where people really get into something, you know, there'll be something about it that people relate to. So people are like, yeah, that's pretty good. Like with Frozen, it had like an interesting twist on certain Disney traditions. I was like, yeah, you know, that's pretty cool. And then it just reaches a certain other level of popularity, and then it's like, no, like there has to be that group who reacts to it. Because maybe at first they liked it, and then they got annoyed that it became popular, or maybe they just didn't really care for it. And then it gets popular and they just have to go the other way. And it's just like, if everyone just took it down just a little bit, if the people who loved it weren't so insane, weren't so just, wow, this is the best thing, talk about it constantly, just be like really obsessive and weird. And then if the people who didn't like it didn't have to like then match their energy and have to be like, oh, people like it so I have to dislike it. If everyone just kind of just a little bit, you can have your opinions, but just tone it down a little bit. So there's some sense of people being rational and actually being open to the idea of other people not enjoying or, you know, enjoying what you like. And then, like, people, you know, if you like something, share it and talk about it, sure, but don't be obsessive. And if you hate it, you don't have to go on a big, like, oh, this is the worst thing. Again, you're allowed the opinion. Because I've said a lot about how I don't like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you're allowed that opinion. But the point is when it's just like, it just gets exhausting because you see it every time, and people have such big energy about certain things, and then the sad thing is that that energy goes away. Like, it would be better if people were still energetic and excited about something. Because one of my favourite games, let's just say, you know, Super Mario 64, loved that game as a kid. Obviously, I don't have the same energy for it because I was younger, but I still really enjoy that game and still love it. And if people ask, what do you think of that game? I'd be like, it's awesome. And I still like to talk about it a lot and whatever. But when I was younger, if I was like tweeting about it constantly, if I was like going up to people and be like, Super Mario 64 is the best, and then just try and shove it in people's faces, then yeah, like, it's going to get a negative reaction to it, and it kind of deserves it, and I should probably just tone it down. So that's what I'm here saying today. Sure, everyone says haters gonna hate and trolls or whatever, but a lot of those people are just reacting to the over-the-top energy of people enjoying something and trying to get it out there. So we just need to tone it down a little bit, guys, and I think that will make a more positive internet. An internet I'm building towards. Vote Honest Team 23.
Oh, good luck. Good luck, sir.
I know it's not going to happen.
How much do you think that's got to do with age?
I think a lot, but yeah. I think it's more... Some of it's age, some of it is just social maturity in general, which is obviously related to age, but then some people
Not necessarily, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, not necessarily. Some people just get older and just don't change. It's weird. So it's just like, yes, some people's social maturity is so low that they can't see what they're doing. I think I'm talking about it before. I can't remember when. It might be on the podcast how, like, when it comes to the gaming community, the gaming or games in general attract people who are socially awkward. But now there's the whole gaming community online and on social media. So now we have all these people who were attracted to the games in the first place because they're awkward, now interacting on a large global scale with everyone else who is also awkward. And again, that's not to insult the people. That's just kind of like the facts. Like, as a kid, I guess, like, I was kind of a bit awkward, so it was nice to just jump around as Mario. There was some escapism to that, but I don't think I'm as bad as a lot of people are. So I think that is definitely relates to pretty much anything when it comes to entertainment on social media. You got to realize that so many people are just either young or just socially, they're attracted to that thing because they're not socially on the level. And again, there's a ton of people who are, but there is a ton of people who aren't.
Are you linking social? We're saying social awkwardness. There's not much weight to what we're saying. It's just, I guess it's just something to describe it. Are you linking that to things like playing games and looking at screens and not actually socializing?
Yeah. Much.
Then the future's screwed. You see 3-year-olds with iPads now. We are screwed.
Well, it's not like a direct thing. This is just kind of an idea.
You're probably right, but there are these people saying, those kids that young should not be stuck to a screen. They should be out, making friends, and then that's how you.
Oh no,
that's
no,
how you get your your social cues.
I don't think that is causing it. It's the other way around. I'm saying that for some people. And again, not everyone, some people might be just not socially connecting with other kids or whatever, and then that's what takes them steps towards video games.
Right, okay.
They're not unhappy people or anything like that. That's just naturally how their life went. So I'm not saying that it's causing it, I'm just saying that escapism is a very real thing, and everyone has different reasons for doing it. Some people just have a bad day, but some people also just socially aren't there. So they have to, that's just where they go. And there's nothing wrong with that. But then it's just those are the people who are also then going online because now everyone has a voice. And that's the people who are talking like this. Because you hear about it a lot. Like the whole Gamergate thing. I don't want to really go into that. Where you had stuff like people oh, you're a journalist and you're dishonest. I hope you get raped. And it's just well, that's not...
That's not a natural response.
Yeah, obviously there is socially wrong with someone doing that at all. It doesn't make any sense and is a horrible thing to say. So, that's, I think that's where the link comes from. Where, of course, you're always going to have people who are more kind of psychotic, but that, it's like the whole thing about, do people who play video games then want to go kill people? When my answer is, they always had that inclination, they just use video games as their outlet. So it's a similar sort of thing, just on a less extreme level, I think.
Yeah. Wait, yeah. Okay.
But I swear I've made this point before, but it's just something that I always it's something to always consider. Or always kind of think about when these sort of things happen.
What? Overreaction?
Yeah. Because I kind of get annoyed about it, but when you kind of... Let's take a step back.
How much does it affect you? Honestly, because I can safely say I really don't care. Does it bother you?
It doesn't bother me. It's just kind of come on, guys, just be.
You're embarrassed.
Just be cool.
Right.
Just be cool. So it's not I saw people being annoyed about Frozen 2, then I'm just oh, ruined my day. Oh God, how can I possibly have a good day after this? But it's still, you just read it and you're just come on, that's not, because you see it like I said, it's been done before, it's going to happen in the future. So it's not just it's because it's Frozen 2, it's just in general, it's just kind of it would be nice if people kind of did that. But then again, you can just customize your Twitter and your Facebook and whatever, and you don't have to re-comment. So at this point, it is my fault.
Actually,
but it would just be nice.
That's another question I have. How do you garner such a response? Is garner a word? Did I just make that up?
Gauge? Did you?
Garner
is a word.
Yes, gather or collect. Boom. All right.
Cool.
How do you garner a reaction? Where do you find the reaction?
Just everywhere, really.
But no, I want to know what.
Everywhere.
You can't know everything on the internet.
Yeah, well, says you.
Or maybe you're on the deep web, but still. What did you look at? I don't know what you'd look at. YouTube comments?
It's just naturally browsing on. Again, any YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, just news sites as well, reading comments, things like that. It's just naturally where I browse. You just see stuff.
Do you think you're browsing in the wrong places and you're looking at places that have a tendency to have that reaction?
Maybe, but then I like to read people's reactions to it. I like to see how people are thinking about it. see if anything lines up, whatever, because that's what people really want when you go onto a social media site. You don't want an opinion, you want your opinion said at you. So I kind of do a little bit of that. So, not actively, but it's just what everyone does. So I do like to read people's reactions to it. Maybe sometimes it can be a bit frustrating to read, but I like to see how people respond to stuff. It's like I was saying with the review. It's interesting, even if I don't agree with the review and I think it's bad, it's still interesting that somebody wrote that about the game. And it's the same with like news. Even though it can come across as psychotic and just like over the top and just be messy, it's still people's actual reactions to it. Like, these are actual people, and this is actually how they're thinking about it. So on some level, that is always going to be interesting, even if it can be just annoying and just like, a bit much sometimes.
So, by that standard, you too should read the letters in a newspaper first.
Busy.
Do you do that?
I don't read the newspaper. Did you not hear me? I don't read. Gosh.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Never mind.
But I read like just comments and just thoughts of people online, so...
Well, yeah, I mean, when I go see a film, usually the first thing I do when I come back, well, not the first thing, but what I have a tendency to do is look up, review threads or things like that. And to be honest, they probably do influence my own opinion. They do, because I am very much... There's a quote here for something, but I can't remember what it is. Damn, I'm so bad with quotes. But the point is that often if you don't have an opinion, then you're just nothing.
Yeah.
And I sadly am like that. I don't really have a strong opinion on most things, and so I rely on other people's, and they make a good point, and then... Oh, actually, no, that sucks, actually. I'll go with that guy. So, yeah, I do read comments. I don't come across... Or I have the feeling, by the sounds of it, I don't come across as much hate. So, we just must be looking in different places.
I think so. But I think everyone does that as well, what you do. To different levels,
Thank God.
But we don't all look up everyone else's opinion because we're all such independent, amazing thinkers that can come up with our own unique opinions. We look it up because we're interested in what everyone else thinks. We're part of a society. You kind of do gauge it. So I do the same thing. I'll go and watch a film, and usually I'll be on the wiki. If I'm watching at home, I'll be on the wiki halfway through reading up stuff about the film and things like that. Or definitely after the fact, it's always hey, how well did this film do? Or I think I recognise that, that kind of stuff. So, I definitely do the same thing. And I think most people, if they're being honest, do the same thing as well. Where people you respect, you let influence your thoughts or your opinions. So, just because it's not some, your friend that you know in real life and it's someone on the internet, people still do it. Because people wouldn't watch YouTube vlogs or whatever and reviews and read them if they didn't let them be influenced by them.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'm not alone.
No. I think everyone does it, really.
That's good.
Even if it is a opposite reaction to it, it's always it can help form your opinion in the opposite opinion of the one written about.
Yeah, appreciation.
Yeah.
Damn it, I'm trying to find that quote, but I can't. Never mind.
Yeah. That's okay.
Oh.
So a brief bit of news is that Uncharted 4 has been delayed, so I know you're going to be upset about that one.
Oh no. The sad thing is, I probably will play Uncharted 4. Because there's not that many games on PS4. No.
That's very true.
What's the one coming out soon? Is it Bloodborne?
Yeah, that's next week.
Yeah, is that like Dark Souls?
It's Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
It's got a bit more interesting art style though, which is nice. But yeah, it's straight up Dark Souls.
Okay. So yeah, Uncharted 4. What a shame. Boohoo, crying right now.
They're really... Well, it is with any other generation, or at this point in any other generation, it would have been that sucks, but whatever. But with this one, that's quite a brutal blow. It's Naughty Dog's first PS4 game. The Order was a big flop. Bloodborne will probably do pretty good, but then again, it has its audience, but that's about it. So what does the PS4 have? What
Nothing
does the
at all.
Xbox One have?
Nothing at all.
It's nothing at all. It's just what are you supposed to be excited about as someone with a PS4?
Yeah.
Joe?
Do you know what? I will do this. I will download Valiant Hearts because I did like the look of that when it was at E3 or wherever it was I saw it. So no, I will look forward to playing that. I will.
I have it. It's good.
Is it good? Good, great. That's what.
It's
that's
like
it,
it's it's good music, cool art style. It's based in World War One, not two, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a platformer puzzle things, but it's all very gameplay wise, very basic. But it's still fun.
There's another
You'll
one.
have fun.
There's another one on the PS thing, PS Plus. It was
Why is it not a full game?
No, it was
Triple A.
It was. I think it was a big game, AAA maybe.
Oh,
That seemed quite good as well.
well, that was PS Plus.
Yeah.
Rayman Legends.
Was it Rayman
Hello.
Legends?
Well, that is free at the
It
moment.
might have been that one, you know.
Tomb Raider was also free, I think.
Was it on Xbox?
I don't know.
think that was
Yeah, I
Xbox.
think I'm thinking of Xbox actually.
Okay.
I don't know.
Alright. Well, yeah. Valiant Hearts. That's my answer.
I got Resident Evil Revelations 2 to play next week. I'm all good.
That game looks so dull.
No.
So dull. Right, I'm going to go on a rant.
No spoilers, please.
No, honestly,
I haven't seen anything about
No,
it.
it's not actually. It's not about the game. Don't worry. Just because I have watched a few videos and I haven't really been paying that much attention. And you know why? Because to me it looks like a walking simulator. That's all you do is walk.
Yeah, tension, spooks.
I'm not going to get into it because I don't know the game well enough. But I watched about 10 minutes of it and it's so dull.
You watch 10 minutes and you're like, you know what? Absolutely not.
Well, okay, I watched 10 minutes of a few videos and then I got confused because it's like Revelations 2, Part 3, Episode 4, 1 out of 5. The way this person had labelled their videos, it wasn't very easy to follow. But I'm done with games. I imagine the order was a bit like that, no? You just walk a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk, I want to play something.
The order's the worst though because it does the whole you have to walk sometimes.
Oh yeah, it controls your speed, I remember you saying about that.
Yeah. Ugh.
But anyway, have fun with that game.
I will. I'm looking forward to it.
I know you like Resident Evil, I'm sure you'll love it.
I will. Maybe. I don't know. If you watch a bunch of random videos on YouTube and say, that's not for me, that's not giving it a chance at all. Like, you might be completely right. I might play it and be like, this is terrible, I hate it. But that's not actually giving it really a chance.
I felt like I gave it enough of a chance.
Like, you didn't even read a review.
I don't
that
need
would have been
reviews.
above.
No.
Well, you don't need reviews, but I'm saying, like, random gameplay footage on YouTube is below reading a review in terms
The game
of actually
should
checking
speak
it out.
for itself.
But you haven't played it.
No, I've watched it though.
Yeah, but okay, you get the story and you do get... And you watched 10 minutes of it. You didn't watch...
No, alright. I watched more than 10 minutes. Don't factor that in, because I did watch more of it than that.
Okay. Well, again, you might be right. I just think that's a bit unfair. I just think that's not cool.
You know what? Maybe I just have something against Resident Evil series. Because I tried watching someone play the remake of the original one. And... actually, no, that was pretty good. Apart from... No, that's pretty good, actually. I like that. And I really like the pause menu music. No, not pause menu. Inventory management menu.
Right.
The music for that was so good.
Maybe you should play one of them.
No.
Oh.
I'm happy not playing them.
Why?
I played Resident Evil 4, didn't I? And it was alright.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And that is like the best one.
That's what people say, and it wasn't... It was alright.
Oh, yeah. Didn't give it a chance. I mean, 3 hours, oh, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to
Got
the
play at
lake,
least
which
20.
apparently was where it gets good, no?
I
The lake
think so.
boss.
Yeah, after that. Because that's when it becomes night.
Yeah, see, yeah, it wasn't very scary to me.
No, it's not that scary.
Is it more actiony?
Yeah, it's more actiony, but good.
Is that what this Revelations is going to be like?
I think a little bit. I haven't played it. I haven't watched 10 minutes of YouTube, so I don't know.
You should watch 10 minutes of YouTube and then make your mind up.
No, I've seen I've
Making
seen
your
nothing
mind up?
about the game because I'm excited. I want to play it. It looks good. Probably.
Okay.
I've seen nothing about it, so I can't say it looks good. Damn it. Foiled.
Come back to me in a week's time and say, Joe, it was a walking simulator. I owe you money.
Why? Where's the
we
money?
We do a bet after the podcast.
Oh, we do a deal. Do a bit.
Yeah, we'll do a deal afterwards.
Lay some YouTube money down.
Yeah.
Make it
Take
serious.
out my wad of cash from my YouTube money. 10, 20, 30, yeah, alright.
There we go. There we go.
My vault of YouTube money. Just turn the big handle.
Just the gold bars.
Yeah, YouTube give you those gold play buttons. They're actual gold. They're real gold.
This one I got from Loot Crate.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But no, so I still want my experience though of like, hey, there's a game in the series I like, so I'm going to pre-order it and then play it and check it out. I still want that experience. Don't ruin this for me.
No, I won't. I won't. Like I
In
said, I
this
haven't got
day
an
and
attachment
age.
to that franchise. I know you've got an attachment to it, so you probably will like it.
Yeah. Punk.
Barry. There's Barry in there.
What, spoilers?
Barry? I thought that wasn't a
Stop
spoiler.
saying- I can't. I didn't know he was in there. So,
I heard the name Barry.
stop saying Barry.
Well, you already
I
heard
heard
the name
you.
Barry. If I keep saying Barry, that means nothing to you now.
Barry.
I'm sorry if I just spoiled it, but I honestly thought that was
I know. I don't think it is.
on
I
the
don't know.
blurb of like the game. Like Barry and
It's
this guy does this.
Oh, that's fine then.
I
It's
don't
not
know.
a real revelation.
I don't think that's the revelation. No. Barry.
It's the game.
Why is he called Barry?
Hey, that's a name. Don't judge Barry.
What was the blonde guy's name out of 4?
Leon.
See, that's a cool name, Leon.
Leon Kennedy.
Barry is not a cool name
It's just
for
Barry.
fighting zombies. Or maybe that's the point. It's just your average Joe, Barry. He can fight zombies too.
Well, in the first game, you're all part of just like you're all rookies, I think. So you got Jill, Chris, Barry. It's like not interesting names, but then it kind of works. It makes sense because you're all just average, standard guys.
See, Chris,
But
I think is even
wanted-
slightly cooler.
What, Chris?
You know what's changed? It's because of bloody Chuckle Brothers. That's what I keep thinking of. Barry is just
Barry,
it's just a Chuckle Brother.
who can kill the zombies.
Yeah, but Chuckle Brothers have ruined the name Barry for me.
I think it's fine. I think it's been long enough. They're like either dead or in prison at this point. So I think
No,
it's
no,
fine.
they're not. They're not
They're
on
dead and in prison.
Operation U-Tree. Is it U-Tree? I think it's U-Tree. They're not caught yet. Don't worry.
Still on the run
They're on the run to me, to you.
with their hijinks.
Oh dear.
Right, okay, so last thing I wanted to talk about is two kind of odd things happened, or it's odd that they happened at the same time. So, Project Ukulele, have you heard of this?
No.
Okay, so basically there's a new studio called Platonic Games, which was set up by a load of ex-Rare people, and they're saying how we are going to make basically a new Banjo-Kazooie, but we don't own the rights, so we're just going to make our own characters. But it's going to be in that style. That's where they're like coming from. So this week they were at EGX Rezzed in London, I believe, and they revealed a bit more. They didn't show gameplay, but they're like, hey, here's kind of the ideas and the philosophies, which is pretty much we want to make, Banjo-Kazooie again. We want to make a new one, just with our own characters, our own world, and using technology. They're going to do a Kickstarter, whatever. So it looks awesome. They need to show off more of it, but I really like what they were saying about the ideas of it. Like, it's going to just be a game. It's going to be, it's going to be in between Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie in terms of scale, and they want to just make sure it's a good game. We're not going to add in any gimmicks like nuts and bolts. It's just going to be fun. But then this week also, Microsoft did something at like an award show where they had a HD Banjo-Kazooie going, but it's a Kinect game that they just made like this specific demo for the crowd of this award ceremony where everyone kind of got to join in with this Banjo-Kazooie Connect thing. And it's just like, okay, so Project Ukulele is looking good, but this kind of sums up everything that's wrong with Microsoft handling the IPs of Rare. I've always had the opinion that Rare killed themselves, and like did it to themselves. They were just making bad games. Like, Microsoft didn't say, hey, make nuts and bolts with cars. They didn't turn around and say, hey, Grab by the Ghoulies should have next to no gameplay. They weren't the ones that said, Cameo needed to just be awful all around. So I think Rare did it to themselves, but Microsoft can't handle the IPs at all. They just can't do it. Because we had the worst one, Project Spark. But do you remember this from E3?
Yeah, where you make your own levels and things.
Yeah. And then they had in that trailer Conker show up.
Who, of course, yes.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
I don't know. I guess he's in the game. I don't even know if it's come out.
Oh, God. Okay, yeah, go on.
Yeah, so everyone reacted to that because it's like... the line is so perfect. It sounds like they wanted to annoy everyone with the line. Where Conker only got one game, it's a cult classic, and then he just shows up in this trailer and says, it's been too long it's been too long without a new game, I guess we'll have to make our own. It's like too perfect.
That is pretty bad, isn't it?
It's so the biggest piss take. Don't worry, you can make your own Conker game, because we're not making one. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that was a massive misstep, because I think they kind of thought they could get some interest in Project Spark, and you know what, it's a creative sort of game, so I have no problems with that sort of cameo. It's just the way they did it, and also the fact that there is no new Conker game. And then a similar thing has happened here, where it's not a new game or a new announcement, they just made a demo of Banjo-Kazooie because they own it. And that's the problem I have with how they're handling the Rare IPs. They're not active IPs. None of them are like franchises that are still going. Like, if you did something like that with Halo, it would make sense. Because Master Chief is a big part of, the Microsoft brand. And has always been associated with Xbox. And there's like a new Halo 5 on the way next year. Or this year. So it makes sense if you then did like a silly little here's Master Chief in a game or here's him doing like a Kinect thing. Wouldn't be good, but it would make sense. But when you just kind of grab an IP that you own, but you haven't done anything with and it's just kind of dead, and then you just put it in stuff like where you shove Conqueror in Project Spark and you make like a Kinect demo, it just makes no sense. It's just weird. It's not the right way of handling an IP at all. I think Microsoft just kind of has this idea of, hey, people like this IP, so we can just kind of use them however we want, and it'll get some sort of interest. And it's just like, no, that's not how that works.
Using them as bait.
It's just making it worse. It's more just laziness of just, hey, these guys are popular to some degree, so we'll just use them. But of course, like, they think that will make fans like interested, like, oh look. But instead, it's just like, no, it's not happening. Here's a Kinect demo.
Well, what I don't understand how they couldn't think. Of course, people are going to be annoyed if they see, oh, look, it's Conker. Oh, it's nothing. Oh, look, it's HD, but it's just a demo. What do you think they're going to be? Okay, we're happy with this. That's fine. That's very, very, very dumb. What was their view? What was their long-term plan for that sort of stuff?
I don't know. It's dumb because their plan might have been, we'll keep these characters alive somehow until we figure out what to do with them. But then the problem is that the fans didn't forget. There weren't people being like, oh yeah, Banjo-Kazooie, yeah, that'd be kind of cool if they made a new one or something like that. Everyone's just like, why is there not a new one? Everyone still remembers the games. Nobody has forgotten about Banjo-Kazooie to the point where it's a nice reminder. Everyone knows it exists and wants a new one. And you got, in the same week, the exact same week, you had this presentation by all of the, these are all the big guys, by the way, from Rare. These aren't like the small guys or whatever. These are like the big people behind those games. Like the same people wanting to make the same sort of game, And that's exactly what people want, and it's got a massive positive reception, and it's like, that's the right way to do it. Like, they're doing it so right with the same franchise, Banjo-Kazooie, and then you just cut to Microsoft in the same week doing a Kinect demo while they just let the IP rot, and it's just like, it's too perfect. It's just, oh god.
It's night and day. It makes for a very good comparison, at least.
Yeah, it's just so weird, because the first thing that everyone heard about the whole Kinect Banjo-Kazooie thing is that it was meant to just be for the crowd, but of course that's not going to work out. So somebody was all like, or one of the big guys saying, hey, they're showing off like a Banjo-Kazooie HD Kinect game, which of course is not going to get a good response. And then Rare had to tweet out, yeah, thanks for whoever for making that demo just for the reward show. So they had to clarify, because again, people would like, hey, that'd be cool if they did a new one. And the worst thing is that, with the Battletoads thing, do you know what's going on with Battletoads at the moment?
No, no?
Okay, well, there's been like big hints that a new game is coming, where Phil Spencer, I think he's probably a nice guy and he means well, but he like wore a Battletoads shirt, and there's been a lot of talk of Rare working on an old IP to bring it back. And then in Shovel Knight, Battletoads are like playable characters, or then maybe they're just bosses, but they hang out in that game. Which I like the idea of that. Shovel Knight is based off like old retro NES games. It's kind of cool to have that crossover. But they seem to be really hinting at them making a new Battletoads game, and that would just be so bad if they did it. Like, so bad. I really don't want I don't want a new Battletoads. Again, it's just not understanding what people want at all. Again, I can't say for sure it's coming, but it's just no understanding. People like Battletoads because it was not really a good game. I think some people would say it is, but it has a charm about it. But it wasn't actually a good game to the point where, hey, I would like a sequel with modern graphics and, you know, using the new technology and actually expanding on the ideas in that game, because it was just a dumb NES game that was overly hard, and it was, you know, it was dumb but charming. But then you get something like Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong, or well, not Donkey Kong, but something like that, and the technology would make it better, and it would be awesome to see a new one, and it ended on a bad note. But Battletoads is just like a random sort of thing. There's no reason to bring it back. It doesn't make any sense. There's nowhere to go from there. It's just going to be it's just going to be weird. But then the other IPs are just teased instead. So it's just such a misdirection from Microsoft at this point.
The only thing I know about the Battletoads stuff isn't it really rare now? The cartridges, and so everyone, whenever you go to like a local retro game store, they always ask, have you got Battletoads? That's the thing I always read.
Well, that's like a joke.
Yeah. That's the only thing I hear about those. Just this joke about, have you got Battletoads? Yeah, nothing about the actual game.
Yeah, that was a meme.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. That's it. That's really it. And people aren't. It's kind of a funny thing, but people weren't like, hey, a sequel would be nice.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Nobody was thinking that at all. Ever.
Bizarre.
So hopefully it's not happening.
No.
It better not happen.
Maybe he just thought, maybe he just saw that shirt that Phil Spencer going, I like that shirt. I'm going to wear that.
Well, I think he, like with his shirts, he likes to try and be like, indie stuff or niche stuff or whatever. Right. But usually when he wears one, something will happen, I think. I think he wore a shirt of like an indie developer, and then the indie developer was working with Microsoft a few months later. So again, it's not a confirmation, but it's a really bad hint, or it's a big hint that more Battletoads is on the way, and that would just be so bad.
Great. I can't wait.
Because it's like, okay, the Xbox One is so much more powerful than the NES, but then it's like, well, what does that? Who cares? What does that mean? Are we going to get like a 3D like beat 'em up with Battletoads? That'd be awful. That'd be really, really bad.
I really don't know anything about the game, so yeah, sure, that'd be terrible.
Okay, it's just a side-scrolling, like action fighting sort of
with
game
frogs.
where you toads.
Toads, of course, toads. Yes.
I mean, some people can tell the difference, and some people are just ignorant, so that's fine. Yeah, where it just goes side to side. It's 2-player, but it's really hard. Like, not impossible, but it's just really hard. because you play it in co-op and you can hurt each other, and you only have a certain number of like hits that you can take, and stuff comes out of the ground, and you just get hit very cheaply and whatever. It's just hard. The novelty is that it's a really hard game.
Right.
Like there's like a lot of videos of people playing the game or whatever. Again, it has its audience, but it's not a vocal audience who wants more, because it's just a dumb old NES game that kind of it encapsulates a lot of what made certain NES games charming. Not good, but charming, as in it's hard, the concept being Battletoads is silly, it's like kind of, there's a lot of just flaws with it where it's just unnecessarily annoying with certain stuff that it does. So yeah, that's the game, and that's the game that they're hinting at more is coming.
Right. Okay. Well, that's weird.
It's weird.
Yep.
Because they did a good job with Killer Instinct. I mean, I don't know fighting games, but from what I can tell, they did a good job bringing that back, making it modern. But it's a fighting game, so it makes a lot more sense to bring it back in the way they did.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen this Battletoads, but I, like you say, what, 3D Toads?
Ugh.
Hey.
It would have to be a 2D, like, done like an indie game, which would be weird because Rare's a pretty big studio, but I don't know. I don't want to speculate any more than that because it hasn't been announced. I just hope it won't.
And I'm sure we don't really care that much.
No. I guess I'm being hypocritical, like I said. Like, how could I be annoyed about something that hasn't even been announced?
No, you're fine.
I'm not actually that annoyed about it. It's just like, come on, guys.
That guy just needs to wear some normal shirts. That's what I say.
You should. Just wear, like, Master Chief one.
Just come in a Master Chief costume.
Yeah, just be Master Chief for a bit.
Yeah. Keep it simple. That's
Stupish.
much more simple than yeah. Or wear nothing. Go nude. Why not?
Well, then you'll have to get tattoos of Battletoads on his chest.
Have constant laser removal things. Oh poor guy.
God. Red and sore. Constantly.
Oh crap, I need some space for this Battletoads tattoo. Oh, you have to go there. And it's like, oh, ew.
Not there.
Not there.
I think that's as a statement against the game. If I put it there.
Oh dear.
Okay, cool. So, any like final thoughts from you? Because I think we're done, unless there's anything else in particular.
We're done here. Nothing major. I will say I went on a bit of a video game hunt this weekend.
Oh, Battletoads.
For Battletoads. No. Some of it was for possible future Let's Plays and things, so I won't say what games.
Family Guy, the PS2 game.
No, have you said that before? I think you've suggested that before.
Huh?
God.
I think other people have. Not me.
I read that game wasn't that bad. Was it?
I don't know.
Anyway, and so the usual places, the second-hand, the CX, the trade-in store, stuff like that. And then I went to this little independent game shop, and they have PS1 games still, which is really cool because you don't see them very often. And the thing I noticed, because I was like, okay, PS1 games, maybe I could start collecting some more PS1 games because I don't have any. And I did manage to pick up one that I wanted. And when I say wanted, that's kind
needed.
Well, a little bit dodgy because it was Simpsons Wrestling.
Oh, wait.
Only because I want to get all the Simpsons games. And
all of them.
Well, as many as I could get kind of from the NES upwards. And yeah, I mean, I emulated it when I did the Simpsons video. So that was good. But then I was thinking, I'd really like games like Spyro. Spyro would be good to have, an actual, because most people emulate it when they Let's Play them now, don't they? It's just so much easier.
PSN store as well.
And that as well. But it would be so nice to just play on an actual disc. No? Do you not have that feeling? What
do you mean, no?
Like playing on an actual disc, it just has this different sort of...
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I would much prefer to play all games actually owning them.
Yeah. So I was looking for Spyro. I was also looking for a game called Medieval.
Sure.
Which is I remember liking back in the day. Anything really. There's another one called Taz, Bugs Bunny and Taz Time Busters. Anyway.
Oh, I played that.
Yeah. I was looking for all these games, couldn't find them. The most games were like football games, and also bloody Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on PS1.
Oh,
that game
hello.
is everywhere. Everywhere. All right, because I since went on to 2 other shops, sorry, that also sold PS1 games. Which, yeah, like I say, you don't see them too often, so I was actually pleasantly surprised. No games either. None of the games I wanted. Only Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? So I've now come to the very sad conclusion that it's a very expensive hobby to collect PS1 games, because looking on Amazon and eBay, they're like £20 a game.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I just want Spyro. And maybe Crash.
I think it was like I think the thing with PS1 and N64 games is that with the N64 the boxes were cardboard, so that's just gonna not last.
Yeah.
And then for the PS1 the cases just break, and also the CDs were like horrible, so they just get scratched. So there's a more chance of a PS1 game breaking. And also there's only like 10 good games on each of the systems. So like the ones that are good just go up in price. So really, £20 doesn't actually sound that bad.
Well, I'm kicking myself because there was that period, quite a few years ago now, but when the PS2 was the main console, and these PS1 games were, a pound a penny,
Yes.
They were everywhere. And why didn't I get them then? Because I was too young and stupid.
Because you can't do that now. Because like PS3 games are dirt cheap, but gaming is so much more popular. Blu-rays last longer. The cases are better. That they're still going to be. They might go up by a couple of quid, but you can still buy all those games for dirt cheap in a few years' time. I think anyway.
What ones?
Just like any big PS3 one.
Yeah.
Uncharted, Uncharted 2.
Yeah, they're staying around, aren't they?
Because we're in that moment that, you were saying before, but with this gen. But in like 5 years' time, there's no way that, like when Uncharted sells like 4 million or however many copies, there's no way you won't be able to get one.
No.
Well, I don't know how many Spyro sold. I'm going to look it up. Yeah.
Live Googling. Do you want me to talk about biscuits?
No.
I actually don't have any biscuits. I have a chocolate bar wrapper, but no biscuits.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. So I cannot sort of tide over until you finish looking.
You can think about biscuits.
I will think right now.
What sort of biscuit?
I'm going with the chocolate digestive caramels because they are just a standard biscuit now. They're too good.
Well, I can't find them. Apparently, I hit the mic, but that's okay. Apparently, it's a total of 20 million for the whole series, which would include. I guess that includes Skylanders, though. So in terms of sales, it couldn't have been that high.
Yeah, but yeah.
And obviously, Legend of Spyro didn't do well. There wasn't actually that many on the PS2. I think there's only 2 of them. So I don't think they sold that many. Maybe like 1,000. No, not 1,000. Maybe like 1 million each on the PS1. Maybe 2. But not as much as games, like popular games sell nowadays.
I just realised. Can I just go back in time a little bit? I said completely the wrong phrase.
Oh.
I just said completely. I think I said pound to a penny, right? And, and the phrase I was thinking of was dime a dozen. I got completely mixed up because dime a dozen means that they're no value. They're everywhere.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
I just made up that. I'm sorry. There you go. Dime a dozen. They were dime a dozen.
I did hear that, but I just kind of thought, you know what, he knows what he's talking about.
I really didn't. There you go. That's what I meant.
Pound a penny.
Pound to a penny is a saying, but that doesn't mean the right thing.
Okay, wait. So pound a penny, that would mean a pound a penny. So what does that mean? It's rare?
No,
because for each penny you pay a pound.
No.
It could mean something.
You'd say that horse is going to win pound to a penny. Because you believe it's certain it's going to happen. So you put in a pound for a penny.
And then Spyro's there.
Yes.
And then £20.
£1 fish?
Something like that. Something along those lines.
Okay, yeah. I think we're getting distracted here.
I think so, but what can you really expect?
Can I know that you're probably going to bring it up anyway, but you're going to do the whole what's happening with your channel thing, yeah?
I'm not interested this week.
I didn't actually want to talk about mine. I want to talk about yours.
Yay!
Because you finished Red Dead Redemption since the last podcast.
Oh, yeah. That old Diddy.
That Diddy.
That Diddy. Yeah, that was a cool last episode. I tried to go a bit more serious. Because I just wanted to, after the final moments, which, I don't know if it's worth spoiling at this point. No, spoiling the LP, not the game, of course. That's the real tragedy there. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, with the final moments of the game, I just kind of, after experiencing it again, I just want to talk about it. So I actually kind of went, I think, a bit more, not mellow, but a bit more serious, just talking about it. So even though it's 40 minutes, half of that is just here's my thoughts on Red Dead and the like.
Yeah, and for a Let's Play that's built up over that amount of time, you deserve the time to speak about that, because it is a big ending. I think that was absolutely fair.
Well, thank you.
And necessary, in fact. Vital.
Well, it's also, with that game, I think you can interpret it however you want.
Yeah.
So I think other people will have different interpretations of what Rockstar was going for with the moral aspect of the game, and whether things were right or just the different characters in general. You can have your own interpretation. Other stuff can stand out. And it's weird because that all comes down to the final moments. You can assess the whole game as you go, but it really mostly comes down to how it ends. And then you look back on everything. I think, anyway. It's
true. And that's why I don't know whether this was on a podcast I mentioned, but where it was just off, just talking. But I was watching another Let's Play of Red Dead, and they didn't do the final mission with Jack. And it's true. It just falls flat. You need that sort of closure in a way, and without it, it really doesn't feel like a good ending, and one that, you say, you can analyze.
Yeah, the guy didn't finish it. Then that's straight up not finishing the game.
No, I agree, and it was sad. So yeah, it was good. Good to see the ending one more time.
Yeah, it's you kind of forget.
Yeah, I did kind of forget some aspects of it.
But for me, when I played it, I think that was a surprise as well. I can't remember if it had been spoiled for me what happens, but it was kind of, I guess, especially the way it's done, how it comes out of nowhere in a way. It was very whoa, very hard hitting.
Yeah.
Real shock ending.
Yeah, and I was reading about this as well. I was reading there was a discussion about when games take away abilities for a cutscene or something, or not for a cutscene, but for a story point, and how it can be quite annoying. Like you'd say, I wouldn't do I wouldn't do that because I have this ability, but it's turned off for this bit, and it's really annoying. And then someone said the best example of that.
Or the opposite, right?
The opposite, yeah. The best example opposite of that is Red Dead Redemption, the ending, in that you have your ability for Deadeye, and you have that all the way through. But in the end, you can't. It does nothing, but you don't feel cheated out of that.
Yeah, because you get to play the last stand. Yeah. You don't watch it. You're like, right, as a player, I have killed a ton of people before. I've done a lot of stuff. It was me that did it. So then the game's like, okay, get out of this one. And then you kind of, just from a story and just the way that story is normally structured, you would assume that it would work out.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't.
The odds are just too much against you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good ending.
But then also John made his choice to be in that situation as well, which is what makes it interesting.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I now have a copy of Red Dead Revolver, though.
No, that's one of the games I got. That's one of the games I actually bought. Red Dead Revolver. Yeah, I bought Red Dead Revolver because it was £2.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Why is it not very good?
I don't know. I haven't played it.
Yeah, I should play it.
I brought it as like a shelf thing. Like one day I will go and be like, hey, today's the day.
Yep.
But it's not something I'm going to urgently play.
Yep. It's just because I hadn't seen that before. So I thought, I'll pick that up. £2.
Oh.
£2
£2.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, okay, so do you want to talk about what's going on your channel?
Not much is really happening. I mean, the dig's still going. Oh, Diggy. Minecraft is still going. Oh, well, I guess, 2 new things. There was some...
2 new things?
2 new things. There'll be a very little series of, Minecraft mini games because the server broke the other night, and so all of us on the server thought, screw everything, we'll just go and play on a public server for a bit. So we played some mini games. So I recorded that because it was fun. And also, you might know about this, Tom, about Battlefront 2.
No.
Oh. Yeah, we played some Battlefront 2. We actually played it last week, but my recording messed up. So I played again with Edward the Guy. You may have heard of him. He's been on this podcast.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I recorded again with Ed. Well, yesterday this would be. So I'll probably upload those sometime soon as well. Battlefront 2 online.
Oh wait,
PC.
so did you record your side this time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually got it to work this time.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Okay. And then you can link to the original series as well. Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's all so perfect.
Well, it's not quite perfect because Edward the Guy's got footage for like another 3 weeks, and I can't want to upload mine soonish, so there might be a bit of an overlap, but there's still new stuff to see if you head to his channel. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean he's done that's fine. Whatever.
It's all good.
Cool. Right, so with me, I'm starting the new LPs. I've been busy this week, so I don't know when. It might be like on Friday or something, but I'm hoping before then, because I have the first part of both of them done.
Oh,
I know. No.
Oh.
I already said what one of them was at the live stream I did. Outright, I was like, this is what it is.
Well, you know I wasn't there for that. You were just teasing me.
Well, some people were, so they know. It's nothing like crazy, by the way. It's not like, oh my god, it is doing that one.
Isn't it?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
I'm afraid.
I can see the shirt you're wearing.
Oh no. My tattoo.
Oh, that's tattoo.
Yeah, but no, they all start next week. And then Mind Over Mutant, or yeah, that's the game. That review almost didn't come out on time because I had to finish it by Thursday, and that was a revelation. But anyway, it was a bit rushed towards the end, but it came out. I think it came out pretty good. Because it's like 10 minutes, which was, I don't know, it came out pretty good. Because when the whole time I was making that review, I was like, this is not going to be one of my best ones. And then it came out, I was like, you know what, that wasn't bad. That actually came out okay.
Well, that's good.
But when I was writing it and editing it, I was like, this is a bit not, I don't know. Just sometimes you're feeling it, sometimes you don't, and I just wasn't, really.
Okay, but you're happy with it now?
Yeah. And I also think I'm on the edge of doing the reviewer voice too much. I think in that review, when I looked back and watched it, I think I did it a little bit too much.
The reviewer voice.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to tone it down next time.
All right. I watched a bit of it, but I had to go do something. I'm gonna watch the rest of it. I'm gonna keep an ear out for that and see what you mean.
Well, obviously you have to talk in a certain way to be clear and concise anyway, but there is that way you can talk. I'm trying to think of a line I can say.
Yeah. It's very difficult to describe.
Yeah. But then it's like, feeling. I don't... Because it's just, if you do it too much, there's been, reviews I've seen, And it can be annoying when somebody's just talking and then they stop and go like this. And you're just like, that's not how you talk at all. That's not being clear or concise. You're just going up like that and then coming down again. It's just like, don't do it. So I think I do that a little, not to the extreme, but I just want to make sure I don't start doing that completely.
Okay.
So I think I'm fine at the moment, but it's a slippery slope
Yeah.
towards talking like that all the time.
Yeah, please don't. Even those 2 times you did it then was annoying. So
It's horrible. It doesn't sound good.
no, it doesn't.
But yeah, so I that's the podcast.
That's the podcast.
So yeah, I think we got all our final stuff out of the way. And next week I'll probably try and get like Proto back on or something. Just mix things up, I don't know. But we'll see. Maybe just cows. I'm not one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Good times.
Yeah.
Anyway, Joe, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
What did we talk about?
I moaned about charity for far too long, and
Yeah, well, that was disgusting.
I'm ashamed of myself now, and then we talked about some other crap. Battletoads.
Battletoads, yeah. Let's just move on.
Let's go
with
get
our
the
lives.
tattoos now. Come on, let's go.
Let's do it. I'm
Off we go.
pumped for charity.
Yeah.
Can't believe
Oh,
get Battletoad tattoos.
Sure. Yeah.
Hey. Okay, well, goodbye, everybody.
Bye bye.